Hello, everyone. Mike Flanagan, Tim Mack here with you for the 12 p.m. single squad at the 2015 Military Championships presented by Storm, and a slew of other sponsors we'll be going over here in just a little bit. Tim, we saw great scores this morning. We saw some 1,000 shot for the 4 games, 6 to a pair again today, and our second squad of the day and another one at 4 o'clock.
Are we going to see 299 or 300 the first game? We've seen it in every single squad so far in the tournament. Game 1 of each block is at a 299 or 300. So, I mean,
a lot of 299s for some reason.
Yeah. There's like four or five of them
on pocket hits.
Yeah, I just think a couple of shots were a couple bad breaks, and then a couple of shots weren't as good as some of the previous shots that those players threw. But shows you the talent level out here. Testament to the military. I'm still taken back by that last squad and that interview that we had with Randy Johnson. Raymond Johnson, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept thinking about the Hurt Locker. I thought about it at lunch when we had lunch.
Yeah.
And, the guy's 20-08 for 8 games. Impressive. So, we're just getting underway here in game 1 early. We'll be bringing you 17, 18, 19, and 20. And you can kind of catch 21 and 22. The ball's going through the pins on that side. So the good thing is 19 and 20 isn't black this squad. It's not dark this squad, and we got it going on.
Yeah, and we'll also have our wireless camera. We'll be able to get around. We know we've got some folks in the chat that want us to cover a couple of other pairs of lanes, and we will certainly do that for you. Really happy to be with you here today from the Orleans Hotel, Casino, and Bowling Center. Mike Kaufman on hand. Actually, today we just saw him, and we need to let everybody know about the great sponsors that help make this possible for our active and veterans military personnel here at the Orleans and the Gold Coast that are participating. Over 600 bowlers here and over 1,200 bowlers over at the Gold Coast. Of course, Storm, the title sponsor. If you're looking for a new bowling ball purchase, make sure you head over to stormbowling.com. Take a look at the arsenal and the variety of bowling balls. There is guaranteed to be one that'll fit your game, and probably more than one. Turbo 2-in-1 grips, Counts Customs, Bowlers Journal International, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Jim Beam, Budweiser, Edelman Financial, K&K Bowling Services, and the Southern New Hampshire University.
And just to touch base on one of those sponsors, Turbo 2-in-1 grips, we've got the great representative and the guy that's been with Turbo for a long time, was on our team for a while as well at Storm. Still on our team because he's still a great representative. Chris Sand will be joining us in the booth here coming up this squad. And also, I know a lot of the chat has enjoyed the great Wes Pye. He'll be back later after he makes some more sales calls over to Europe. Work never sleeps, Mike. It never sleeps.
I'm happy we got 2 pairs back in front of us here. And a lot of different styles. We got, I've seen some headphones too. I've seen some folks bowling in headphones last couple days. That's kind of cool.
I haven't seen any headphones that big. Those are big headphones.
Those are some big headphones.
Those are some expensive headphones.
17 and 18.
I don't know if they're Beats from Dr. Dre, but he'd be proud of. We'll find out who was wearing those headphones there in a second. But.
Four-game block here today. They are going to stay on the same pair of lanes, bowling on a house shot.
No doubt the guys are getting more comfortable. It is Ty-Hee Holmes. I think that's how you say that.
Here's an interesting statement from a bowler online.
Do we know who this bowler is?
Yeah, I bowled 4 regionals last year, only won 1. Well, that's pretty good, 25% on regionals. I had won 300 during competition with 830 in those games, and I averaged 231 for the 49 games I bowled. Explain to me why I averaged 220 in league and have no honor scores in the last 2 years when league bowling is supposed to be easy.
because you don't care. That's why. You don't have the same focus and the same level of mental concentration and focus as you do when you're bowling those events. And your heightened senses are more so. And the first time you ring 10, mentally you say to yourself, it's only league. So you don't care as much. It's very simple. If you cared more and just concentrated a little bit harder and had the same focus, you'd probably average 245 in league instead of 220. The game is still at its core. You still have to focus and concentrate.
Here's Leonard on lane 19. Looking for an opening triple. Leonard Ross. He's got it.
He's on fire. He's ready to roll.
So 2 opening triples on 19 and 20 and a double on 17 and 18. So maybe we'll see a 300 right in front of us.
Would be nice so you don't have to walk it down into the settee with the auxiliary camera.
Over on 21 and 22, we've also got 2 bowlers with the first 3. Make that 3 bowlers with the front 3. Does that even make the front 3? Is that right?
That's what I've always said it as the front 3. I've always said it. Started with a double, got the front 3, got the front 4, front 6, front 8. I've always said it that way.
I've never been a real turkey guy.
No, me neither.
For some reason, just, you know.
I never have been either, so.
I mean, I'll eat turkey at Thanksgiving. That's not a problem.
I've been called a turkey before.
Have you really?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, well, what can you do? You can't please everybody. One thing I'm learning as I get older in life.
Got a couple of ham bones on 19 and 20 now.
You got to call Rob Stone and ask for that approval.
Do you know what 7 in a row is?
7-bagger?
Nope, it's the ham turkey dinner.
That's you coming up with that, obviously.
No, it was Jeff Goodger from the PBA came up with it, actually, when I was working with him in Detroit. It's the ham bone plus the turkey. So you put them together, ham turkey dinner.
Ham turkey dinner. Never quite heard it understood that way, but that's okay. I'll go with that.
Yeah, ham turkey dinner.
Ham turkey dinner.
I mean, it just sounds good, you know. I mean, anytime you go to dinner and you get 2 choices of meats, ham and turkey, usually it's one or the other. Ooh, runs over the rack for a 7 on 19. John Martin.
Okay. Eddie Bass, I like that name. Eddie Bass. Sounds like a wide receiver from St. Louis. But he's up on lane 18, started with a quick double. Looking for the elusive 3-bagger.
Warner back in the pocket to Eddie Bass. Touchdown.
Deep post across the middle.
That's right.
St. Louis does it again.
Let's go back and take a look at this replay. Eddie Bass, you can see, he just beats the corner. They were blitzing.
Beats him to the pylon.
Yep.
10 in the pit.
Now, Ed Hockley's come back out on the field to give us the ruling. After further review, Eddie Bass was in bounds. Touchdown, St. Louis. On for the kick. Oh, and it's a fake. Oh, look who came up with it. Eddie Bass. 2-point conversion.
There he is.
Just had one of the folks here come up and admire the jersey I'm wearing. Brad Edelman joins us in the chat. Hello, Brad. Hopefully everything's going well over at the Gold Coast, sir.
We need to have Brad up in the booth again because he's like the Messiah in Las Vegas when it comes to bringing bowling to the masses. The Messiah. I like that one. Brad, High Roller, you're a Messiah. That's your new name.
Well, we got a lot of striking going on over here, Brad. I don't know if you've been hearing anything about what's happening at the Orleans, but over the last day and a half, coming up here at game number 2, we'll be halfway through our coverage, Tim, for the week. We've been seeing a lot of high scores, and we've seen a lot. 299 is the number of the week right now. 299, they get the front 11, hit the pocket, 10-pin, 9-pin, 7-pin, whatever it may be. But I'm going to make a bold prediction. Game 1, the very first game, we're going to have 2 300 games. That's my prediction right now.
That's a big call.
It's a huge prediction, but I'm telling you right now, I'm looking over to the left, and I see first 4 right in front of us. We got 2 guys with the front 5, including Rob here, who now has 6 in a row. You just saw it right here on your screen.
Yep.
I see a string of 5 over on 23 and 24. I see a string of 5 over on 25 and 26. Now let's make that a string of, oh no, he's about to go up and bowl. So we'll get the wireless camera as we get in about the 7th frame here, which won't be long. We'll go out and we'll cover all this. So lots of high scores. Of course, we'll get around. We'll interview some folks like we have been, and tell some stories. Peter Potter comes by the booth saying hello and goodbye. He's been helping us out.
This is my last day in the booth, unfortunately. I'm going over the Gold Coast and seeing what's going on over there the next 2 days.
Yes, you are.
So I'm going to be lost without my headset. I might just want to carry it with me.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Either that or I'm going to borrow Taihe's headphones.
Yeah, and he's up on 17 right now.
Yeah, tough splitter he's going to have.
So, it looks like I think I'm going to have to get mobile here, buddy. I have to get mobile.
I'll give yourself 1 or 2 more frames. Let's give it 1 or 2 more frames.
I mean, we got 19 and 20 right here, which is pretty cool. I mean, to have a feature
2 guys.
pair, yeah.
2 guys. And we now have the front 6 on lane 24 as well.
Yep. Yes, we do.
We got the front 6 at 25.
Yep. And we're just in this hot pocket here. Lanes, 5 through 30 is our wheelhouse here. We can pan all of these. It would be really cool one day, and I've been talking about this, is it would be really cool to have a tournament, whatever tournament you want it to be. This one would be perfect, where you've got InsideBowling.com on like 1 through 20.
Yeah.
You got Bowl TV on 21 through 40.
Yeah.
You got Extra Frame on 41 through 60. And you got Michigan Bowler TV on 61 to 80 in an 80-lane house.
Make it happen. That's the best way I could say.
Wouldn't that be wild?
Make it happen. I'm talking to one of the most powerful people in bowling. on the Bowler's Journal Power Poll. What number were you this year?
Oh, jeez. What number?
19?
Hey, I was just happy to see my name in text down below in the.
Okay, well, we've lost one bid.
I received at least one vote. Yeah, we did. We
lost
did, Rob.
one bid for 300. Now here's our second bid on lane 19.
We're going to get it right here.
Leonard Rose.
Leonard Rose right now is going to get the front 7.
We lost another bid on 25.
Here we go. Come on here, Leonard.
First one to 7.
Come on, Leonard. Wheel.
Roll the 2. No,
Oh.
didn't roll the 2.
He's been hitting kind of light, so.
Okay, so we've lost all those bids, and we've got one more on 24.
Yep, you're right.
Sit tight here, buddy. You might have to stay with me for a little bit.
Frame 7 is where it's at.
Frame 7 is the hump frame. You got to get over the hump, as they say.
You know what I missed last night?
What's that, buddy?
The Bachelor was on last night.
Did you tape it?
Oh yeah. Kidding me? Extra 30-minute extension just in case something crazy happens.
So sporting events on, you're safe. That's the great Vaughn Duty on lane 21. He's in his 80s, I believe, and is a high roller specialist. Fantastic player in his own right, and been good for a long time.
I love this ball roll on lane 17.
Yeah?
Really cool, like a spin ball roll.
If my head looked that good, I'd probably shave my head, but I just can't pull that off. So I'm going to leave whatever little hair I have on my head for Mr. Childress there. Yeah, I like how he gets out of it. We got a good group here right in front of us. We got a nice group here.
Okay, I'm gonna get mobile.
You getting mobile?
I'm gonna get mobile. I'm gonna go out and do a little bit of cover a few more folks. We got the front 7 over there on 23 and 24, and
yep, so that might be the kicker. You had to get to the number 7. So get out there, and I'm with you.
I'll get mic'd up.
You're on. Got some good scores right in front of us here. Leonard Ross throwing a strike after missing in the 7th with coming up a little light, and is back on the strike and binge. And looks like it's a pair of Rosses over here. Gerald Ross going up to shoot the spare for the 5-pin, right in front of us on the camera. Got to hang on, and it does. Having some technical, just switching some batteries up here, making some changes. think. Looks like Andrew Janata. I can't really see the last name, but it's Andrew the first name on lane 23 and 24, going for the front 8 right now. We're going to get a camera down in there. Hopefully if he throws the 9th one, we'll get a camera back down there as soon as possible, because that one just destroyed the pens. And Mike's on his way down, and I'm going to handle up the booth up here, our production up here, until Mr. Flanagan returns. Cocktails and Flanagans. Cocktails and dreams from Mr. Flanagan. If we could just get Elizabeth Shue to come in and buy a cocktail, we'll be fine. So we got Luis Baez right here in front of us, working on a triple on lane 18. Goes down and gets after it. Make that a 4-bagger. Or as Mike so eloquently states, ham bone.
Ham bone. All right, I'm mobile. I'm officially mobile. I'm out here walking around, working hard, hardly working. Can't believe this is even considered a work. I love it. Love bringing competition to people.
And here he is, Mike. I'm gonna zoom in on you. I'm gonna give you the camera, and I want you to tell us what's going on down there.
Just going to cover some bowlers here.
Yeah.
Right here is Gregory Green. Leaves a 6-7. Just down here catching some bowlers. Jeffrey Wright right now up on lane 24.
I hear a lot of laughing down there. It seems like you're in the mix. A lot of people having a good time.
Oh, having a great time down here. Got 2:22 left. Good looking shot right there. This guy's got a good game. I would not want to pick a fight with him.
No, you want him on your team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jansta? How would you say that?
Yeah,
Jansta?
Andrew Jansta. He's got the
from
front 8.
It says his shirt's from Japan.
Take a look at that right up there. Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it says he may be stationed in Japan based on that shirt, if you see the back of his shirt.
Yep.
So, a lot of bases over in American bases over in Japan. So nice to see his service being maybe that's where he's serving right now.
What's cool in this singles competition is these guys all bowled as a team yesterday.
Right.
And they're all rooting each other on in singles.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
All right, here we go for the front 9.
Oh, man. We got him. Clouded him.
Well done, Flanagan. But looked like he got that early. Looks like he's got a really high rev rate. Just got to
take a look
dry
here.
early. Love the camera angle. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
The old
I think
7-9.
I got him.
You got both of them.
Yeah, I did. I got to zoom out.
We'll take it back up to the
Yeah,
main
sorry
pair.
about that camera work right
That's okay.
there.
I just dropped it back to the main pair, and I'm coming back to you now. Kind of give us a panoramic view of what's going on all the way down at the end. As you can see, how many bowlers are bowling right now. I know a lot of loved ones and a lot of people, a lot of military families are watching, trying to see their bowler themselves. But our camera capabilities only go to about lane 31, 32, and down to lane 5. So we cover about half the building. And as you can see, we're trying to show a little bit of footage from everybody. That guy rolls it nice.
That is Jason Beecroft.
And he's letting you know how to do it.
Strike, spare, strike. 9 spare, 8 spare. Ham bone.
There you go. Good shot, Jason.
All right, I'm going to jump around here, Tim.
Yep, we're going to come back to the main pairs. Thanks for that, Mike. Thanks for that update. We're back here in the main pairs here, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Watching a lot of striking. There, Mike, you're going to have to go down to maybe 29 and 30. Someone looks like I have the front 7 or front 8 down there as well. Are you down there?
Bring it to me, buddy.
Okay, buddy, you're live. It's your camera now. What do we got going on down there? Front 8 from Mr. JP. Is that JP Jun, our Korean distributor, JP?
I'm not sure who it is as of yet, but I will let you know.
Okay.
But I also want to show you what else I got going on here. Right next door, 276 working.
A lot of stuff happening.
Just give you an idea of the scores. This is Jay Styles.
And Jay has style because he rolls it good. That's good style there.
Hey, he's got 3 9s, and the rest are all strikes through 9 frames. Coming up next here on lane 31, we have our man Jeff Peterson. Jeff Peterson.
Okay, so it's not JP Jun.
Jeff Peterson with the first 8, looking for 9.
There he is, front 9. Mike, I'm going to ask you to come a little bit further to the left just because we're losing a little bit of audio down there. We keep going in and out. So if you could just scoot your feet a little bit to the left so you can get a little closer to us in the booth. Thank you. That's better. And I'll come back to you when he's ready to bowl his 10th frame.
You got it.
Okay, Parts. So we're back here in the main pairs. We got Wes Pye has got a nice 279 going right now. If he strikes in the 9th, he's going to be up here on lane 18. And the looks like Gerald Ross and Leonard Rose. Leonard Rose are finishing up their games right now. Leonard Rose has a chance to shoot 259, and we got Luis Baez right in front of us, got a chance for 279. So again, we've seen the really good scores early, as anticipated. He gets another one.
I was just looking at scores over on 35 and 36, 37 and 8. I see a 278 and a 264.
Wow, so the scores are high, no doubt. And they're striking down here at the low end, no doubt. So
How about a little bonus coverage here?
are you ready to
Errant Billingsley in all orange has a possible 280 left. He's in the 10th frame.
He looks like he looks like the orange creamsicles with the white ice cream inside. I used to love those. I like his style. He looks good.
He leaves a solid 10.
Looks good style out there. Looks good. Matches well. Love the orange, buddy. A slew of 250s over here. I wouldn't be bowling one in the bowl brackets against these guys, I can tell you. Just getting some coverage of, hey, that's Mr. Styles, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Jay Styles, another strike. This is Oliver Carr on lane 31. Oliver can still shoot 213 going into the 10th frame. He just came back and said, I think everybody wants to see a piece of the candy cane.
Okay, I'm not sure what that is. We're gonna have to get him for an interview maybe and find out what the candy cane or what he's referring to.
All right, I'm going to try to get set up here for this.
All right, I'm going to take it back to the main
front
pair.
9.
And you let me know when you're ready, and we'll throw it back down to you.
Yeah, I'm going to mute my mic so I can get a better position. So you won't be able to talk to me, but I'll be covering it.
That's fine. I'll look at the camera, and when I think it's a go, that's what we're going to go with. In the meantime, Luis Baez is shooting 279 here right in front of us on the home pair here on 17, finishing up his first game. And he's going to be 270s for sure. Some solid scores out of the gate, and we're just waiting for our man who's got the front 9 down there to take a chance at the elusive 300.
Hey, Tim, it's Jeff Peterson, by the way. Jeff Peterson.
Jeff Peterson it is, okay. And we're going to have him coming up here shortly. We'll have him on video and film, and he's going to get his chance to shoot his perfect game. So we got 279 down here, 279 to my left, 250, 250, 250. Some really, really good scoring out of the gate here. Looks like the camera's ready to roll, and we're gonna get on him now. There he is. Solid 9s on the front 9, and gonna lose his bid for the 300, but still 279 is gonna be a solid start with a spare and a strike. We will stay with him as he finishes this game. We'll make the spare, and then we'll watch him throw the fill ball, and 279 will be the number. Nothing to shake your head about there. Using a fusion, IQ Tour Fusion. Just kind of floating it off his hand, and we're going to get you a really unique angle here, down on the lanes. And we're going to have an opportunity to watch Jeff shoot his fill ball here. He's up on the approach, and you're just going to see the ball come into play. You'll see it come into play now. There it is. And there you have it. Solid 279. Great start, and can't ask for anything more than that. So thanks, Mike, for that. We appreciate that. And I'm going to throw it back to the main pairs here that we're following. And here you see Rob Rutledge coming off the 9 out and with a nice strike. You got to remember the guys, all the viewers at home. These are the people that protect our country. They they work in the military. They're all active duty. Selfless people. Always put the cause first before themselves first, and tells you a little bit about who they are and what they do and how they interact and the type of people they are. And if you come here and watch the event and watch the people and watch how they bowl and watch how they compete, and they compete hard, they're very dedicated to the cause and what they're trying to do. And it's great to see. So we're starting our second game here. This is the second squad of the 2015 singles event at the Military Bowling Championships here in the beautiful property of the Orleans in Las Vegas, Nevada. We've already had one squad this morning. This is game 2 of the second squad of 3 squads today that'll be conducted for the day. And all the participants who all bowled together yesterday bowled a team event. Today is a singles event, but they're all bowling together. They're just on different pairs, looking for the elusive singles prize. A lot of good scoring here early. A lot of strikes going on. It's great to see. And the talent level here is quite high. So you're witnessing some really good bowling from our country's finest. And I would anticipate scoring pace to continue to be high. And strikes will be furious and often. SCB 123. We don't have the camera to pan to the 13 and 14. However, we do have our roaming camera where we can shoot where we can shoot 13 and 14. Lanes 10 to 14. We'll be down on 11 and 12 for sure because they've got 4 guys right now that got the front 4 and the front 5. So we'll be moving down there shortly to see if they can continue to strike. We have only the roving camera, and the people in the chat are asking to see certain people, certain players, and we're doing the best we can with what we have. So bear with us. We'll do the best we can to bring you interviews, people, and looks like Mr. Mike Flanagan has a guest. I'm going to shoot it down to Mike Flanagan. Mike, take it away.
Hey, buddy, I'm here with Matthew Wills, and he's bowling here today. And how are you bowling so far?
So far this game, I'm doing pretty good. I had a 233, so I can't complain this game.
233 is pretty good. What do you do for us in the military?
I'm actually retired from the military, 23 years, and now I work at for the Department of the Army, Northern Region Medical Command in Fort Belvoir, Virginia. And we're telehealth, so what we do is I work with psychiatrists, psychologists, and social workers, and we see patients like that are at Fort Drum, New York, Fort Knox, Kentucky, and Fort Bragg that don't have access to maybe a psychiatrist where they are, so we actually VTC in to see those patients.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like something that's much needed as well. How many years have you been coming to this tournament?
Actually, this is my second year. So. And I plan to make it a long time, career. So came last year, had fun. Came this year, still having fun. So plan to come next year too.
Now, did you pick up bowling before or during your time, serving our country?
Actually, I started bowling probably when I was 15. My oldest brother got me into bowling, so I've been bowling ever since. So I can't complain. Bowl with the Army. With the posts as I came up through, but it's fun. So it's a good sport.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. Bowl good the rest of the day, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Okay. Thank you.
Mike, thanks for doing that.
There you go, buddy.
Another great interview and
cool stuff.
Another cool story to listen to. Awesome.
Out on the floor here, lanes 11 and 12, a lot of strikes going on.
Yeah, we've been asked in the booth, Mike, to take a look at 11 and 12. So you can get the camera down there. Would be great. to get behind some of those guys. I'm gonna throw it down to you right now, partner. Down to 11 and 12 it is. Take it away.
Yeah, just a lot of strikes up here on the scoreboard, Timmy. Got 2 guys in the front 6.
Front 6, 2 guys in the front 6, and we've got 3 guys on the front 6 now on 11 and 12.
Oh, you're right. Yes, we do.
And
this is Don Bustamante.
Okay, and he struck 2. So SCB 123, we're on 11 and 12 right now. So hopefully your bowlers are on 11 and 12.
This is Kyle Wilkes. Kyle has the first 6 in a row, looking for 7 in a row right here on lane 12.
Okay, here we go. He gets through it good. Solid 9.
Solid 9, but let's take it right over to John Barbeau over on lane 11. John Barbeau looking for 7 in a row also.
And from the crowd's response,
He's got his.
he's got his 7 in a row.
And then Stephen Kern bowling right behind him here. Stephen also, he has front 6 looking for front 7.
Fantastic stuff, buddy. Oh, chips to 4 and runs it out. Literally runs it out. That's what it's all about here. So this team is having a go down there on 11 and 12. No doubt about it. They've got a slew of strikes down there. 3 guys with 21, 20 out of 21. Impressive. We're going to just have to keep you down there, Mike, to do overtime because a lot of guys are striking. There's no need to go anywhere right now.
That's right, and over on the pair to the right of me too, we got 2 guys with the front 4.
Yep.
Over on 13 and 14.
You're going to get some miles out of those Dockers, leather Docker shoes that you're wearing.
Well, since coming down here, Don is now doubled.
John can strike. Last time I saw John, he was in Germany. Spent some time with him in Germany, at a base over in Germany. He could strike.
Since we've come down, Kyle has now gone light twice. But now here's John Barbeau.
We worked on his game a little bit there. He's not afraid to let it go. There
Pretty
it is.
pure, pretty pure.
Johnny strikes again. Mike, hold the fort down there for a second. I'm going to walk down and just say something to John. So just hold the fort down and keep the mic on there. Give me 2 seconds.
You got it. Here's a look at Stephen Kern, also looking for the front 8. His partner already right above him has also done so. Remember, these 6 bowlers bowled team event together yesterday. Now they're competing in singles today. Game number 2 of this 4-game block. Stephen Kern looking for 8 in a row. A little bit left to target. So Mack score 279 for him. Get a look at Raymond Clark here on lane 11. Raymond's got a good game going too. He can still shoot 259.
So we're down to 1. We're down to 1, huh?
Yeah, down to 1. Your man John.
And on 15 and 16, lane 16 has 9 out of 10 strikes. The 3 guys have 9 out of 10. So got Bill Nichols over here on 21 and 22 with the front 5.
All right, Timmy, how about we'll bring it back down here in just a little bit.
Sounds good, buddy. We're going to go back to the main pairs.
Tim, lots of action, man. I thought the scores were high on the last set. They're really high this set.
Mike, I don't know where you are. Oh, there you are. Are you gonna leave the camera off for the 9th frame?
I'm coming right now.
Okay, partner. I'm gonna put them on right now. And you're on. It's your show down there. I guarantee you John's using a high road. I guarantee it. It's gotta go. He missed that one. Ah. He thumbed it early. I guarantee you that's a high road.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he loves that ball. All right, so we'll watch him pick up the spare. Covers the spare, so he's still got 278 in the wood. All right, Mike, well, time to come back up here and get off your feet, and we'll take a look at the home pairs, and we'll see if we got anything else going down here. I'm going to stand up and kind of take a look and see if we got anything else going on there. As far as I can see, I don't see anybody other than Bill Nichols right here on 21 and 22.
Chris Sand is going to join us beginning game number 3.
Okay. And that means me and the chair massage lady are going to become kindred spirits.
Yeah, maybe beginning of the game, and then towards the end when cool stuff's
right back
happening,
in.
I can get back out on the lanes and you can do the...
Absolutely. Just a little quick 10 minutes.
Perfect.
That's all it takes is 10 minutes sometimes.
10 minutes.
So Bill just went solid 10 pin. So it looks like right now we don't have anybody bidding for 300.
Not in our neighborhood right now.
No, maybe somewhere up the high end.
Sure.
Remember, in the unique setup that we have here, we go all the way up to up in the 60s up there. So it's a little bit difficult to cover the entire field and the entire bowling center. Thanks, Mike Sargent, for that message that you so eloquently stated to us on the chat. I won't repeat it. I'll leave it there. So, but I'm sure a lot of people will be excited about that coming soon. So here we are in 17 and 18 in front of us, 19 and 20, our feature pairs for the event. For our setup here, we've got our roaming camera. I'm Tim Mack along with Mike Flanagan, bringing you live streaming from the 2015 Military Bowling Championships. Got a great event, great host in New Orleans, and tickled pink and just lucky that we work for Storm Bowling Products, and they're main sponsor of this event and have been for many years and will be for years to come. So thankful to be part of a great family in bowling. Utah and Bill and Barbara Crispin's vision to build the giant that they've built. I want to thank Turbo 2-in-1 Grips out of Michigan. Great staff up there for also supporting this event. Counts Customs, Bowlers Journal International, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, which I will now rent next time I come to Las Vegas. Wes's favorite, Jim Beam. And the Jim Beam girls, pretty sure they're here today again. I might have to go say hi to the Jim Beam girls. And the Budweiser, we need to have some Budweiser girls or maybe some Budweiser boys. One of the two. Thankful for their sponsorship, Budweiser and Jim Beam. Edelman Financial. Gracious for his support as well. Rick's going to do a seminar today, help people out with retirement and planning for retirement. I probably should join that seminar. K&K Bowling Services, great outfit here in Las Vegas for all your bowling needs. Pro shop operation and a number of different outfits here in Las Vegas. And of course, Southern New Hampshire. Grateful for their sponsors and grateful for their support of this fantastic event with in excess of 600 military, active, retired, and it's just a fantastic place to be right now with all the great support from our military. Many have traveled worldwide to come here just to see old friends, make new friends, rekindle their relationships, have a laugh, have some fun. It's wonderful to see. Wonderful to see. So we're working on some camera angles, and we're trying to fix some things here with the cameras. And I think we got it all sorted out now. Sorry for the little delay in the talk there, but we're just trying to sort out some cameras and a lot of people in the bowling center. Trying to get it all sorted. So we're just wrapping up game 2, and some of the guys are a little behind, some are a little in front.
Got this 290 and this 280 working here.
Yep, and they're already done over there on 11 and 12, but that might have something to do with the fact that they threw so many strikes early. And they're not wasting any time going through the gauntlet over there. They're having a go, as they would say. This 15-minute chair massage is going to be a refresher course, and I'm going to send you down in there. It's going to be perfect. Might want to get it done now so that if somebody starts before the next game, so we don't have a. Because I think you need to stay up here in the booth and.
Yeah, why don't you send Chris?
Let's send Chris Sand up, one of our tournament sponsors.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can just go grab him.
Yep, I'm going to go grab Chris Sand, and we're going to bring him up in the booth for a little bit.
Sure. As Tim throws the headset down. Hey, Mike Flanagan here with you at the 2015 Military Bowling Championships. 17, 18, 19, and 20. You're seeing it right in front of you here. And we are absolutely elated to be bringing you this coverage for these 3 days. Today is a singles event. All kinds of questions. It's awesome. Hey, everybody. We said that we were going to have Chris Sand join us up in the booth from Turbo, and happy to have him here with us now. Hey, man.
Hey, Mike. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brother. You got your new position with Turbo last year. It was a big year for you. You left Storm, went to Turbo. I know you left behind some friends, but how are things going at Turbo so far for you?
Well, things are good. It'll be a year in March, and learning a lot. It's different. I'm not on the road nearly as much, which I know my wife and daughter really appreciate.
I'm sure.
But definitely miss a lot of the people back at Storm. Actually, just talked to Ernest a little while ago. Him and I are going to get together, do some dinner tomorrow night. So I still keep in touch with everybody. So I may be gone, but I'm not forgotten, so that's good.
Yeah, man, it's just too small of a world here in the bowling industry, and I know that we've worked together with Turbo on some things, and I know you guys got a lot of really cool things going on at Turbo, including being part of this event and being a sponsor. Tell us what it is that Turbo saw in this event that thinks, hey, we need to get on board with this thing.
Well, how can you not? I mean, the sacrifices that these men and women make for this beautiful country are amazing, and this is actually my first year working the military event for Turbo. I've done it a couple of times with Storm, but the one thing I've noticed is these are the happiest bowlers I've ever been around.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, you and me, and everybody's in really good spirits.
Yeah, it's great to see. I mean, they're out here because they love the sport. They love to get together with everybody. It might be a one-time-a-year opportunity to see some old friends and some nice faces, and they really, really enjoy being here. And, they've come up and thanked us, immensely for our support, and how can you not give back to these great men and women?
Totally, and you got a nice booth over there. We looked at it yesterday on the live stream. Tell us a little bit about your booth over there, as we just saw this gentleman take the 3 off of the 1-3-6-10. That's never fun when you do that. But what items do you have here, and what's going on at Turbo? What's new at Turbo?
Well, the biggest thing that they enjoy from us is we offer a grip exchange for them. Excuse me, at an inexpensive price. We have some products that they can't get their hands on based upon where they are around the world. Our tapes are going over really well. Everybody loves strike wipes. We always create a jersey specially for the military people, so we just want to be in front of them and tell them thanks and how much we appreciate their dedication to this great country.
And I see you guys have you guys are really big into the tapes and stuff now, aren't you?
Yeah, we're growing. We added 2 new colors this year in our Driven to Bowl line. We have a red and blue. Obviously, that's perfect for this event. So those have been going over really well. We continue to expand with that line. We've had a lot of great showings, especially on TV from some guys like Michael Fagan who are using it. Martin Larson, we've caught a little bit of buzz from. He uses our grip tape on his fingers in a unique way. And at the World Series of Bowling, we shot a pretty neat video with all our staffers and what techniques they use and what tapes they use specifically. So it's gone over really well. We've got a great staff. We're really, really proud of them. And it's been a great year. So.
Yeah, Turbo's always doing great things. A lot of cool things happening with Turbo and supporting some of the biggest events. It's funny, we bump into you guys at almost all the same events. It seems like Storm and Turbo are on board with most of the same events. And I know you guys got a big collegiate push as well. What's going on there?
Yeah, this is we actually just finalized the brochure. It's one of the events we're very, very proud of as far as giving back to the sport. I know everybody that we talked to, me in particular, back when I was in high school, would have loved for this opportunity. So our 5th annual Collegiate Expo is going to take place July 8th through the 10th in Joliet, Illinois. We're going to continue the trend with following Junior Gold. Last year was the first time that we had it outside of Detroit. We followed Junior Gold to Rochester, New York. It was very successful. This allows for the parents to not have to travel a couple of places. Junior Gold is an amazing event, and it continues to grow, and that kind of seems the premier pinnacle event. So to give them something to get in front of college coaches, have a recruiting opportunity prior to Junior Gold is really, really seemed to fit. So we're going to continue that trend. We've got a lot of great coaches signed on again this year. Many of them with the Storm staff. We've got Jeff Carter, Carolyn Doran Ballard. Dell's actually going to join us this year.
Cool.
Yeah. We've got Mike Fagan and then other good names like Bill O'Neill, Deandra Asbaddy, Bob Learn, Amleto Monticelli, Jordan Vanover. And then we do a really nice thing with Dr. Dean Hinnitz. Not only does he do seminars for the kids, working on the sports psychology of things, but he also works with the parents too. He does a seminar specifically for the parents on how to raise a champion, and I know you've seen Dr. Dean and spent some time with him. His seminars are absolutely amazing, and as they say, they're must-see TV. So we're excited to have all those guys back on board. We're looking forward to a really good Collegiate Expo again this year. We're kind of revamping our website, so in February you can go ahead online at turbogrips.com and pre-register for that event. We've already been getting calls even prior to the brochures getting out, which actually just came across our desk last week. So, we're really excited, and like I said, we're really, really proud of it. We put a lot of time and effort in logistics and getting those great coaches. And last year we had 30 college coaches alone that were there for recruiting opportunities. We expect that number to grow again this year, and then the success stories are immense, from kids going on to get full rides at universities, or just picking the right school to not only continue their education but to also have some more fun at college in order to continue their bowling careers as well. So it's something we love to do. It's something that we like giving back to, and we're really, really proud of it.
Man, you're a good speaker, man. You got, that's awesome. I really don't even know how to follow that up or say anything after that, because that is so cool. It's just.
Yeah, we get a lot of good support too. We've got a lot of great sponsors that help us too. Logo Infusion has jumped on board this year. They're going to be doing our shirt, so we're really happy for that. All the participants get a Turbo jersey. They're color-coded specifically to their year in which they are in school at that particular time. So it's another way for the college coaches to kind of pick them out of the crowd and to see who they're interested in. And then the third day, we actually end it with a bowling tournament. So not only do you get to get some great education, learn some things about the sport, but then you also get to showcase your talents in front of a bunch of college coaches as well. So we've grown a lot over the last 5 years. We've learned a lot, and we continue adding to it. But we get a lot of support from you guys at Storm and Rotogrip. We do a matchmaker in conjunction with registration. Obviously, registration is a long, drawn-out process, because what we do is we take the photos of every individual that comes through for a book that we give to all 30 coaches. We keep stats, so it takes a little bit of time. So, the manufacturers come out and they do a matchmaker for all the students that are there and then the parents as well. So it's a long, drawn-out 3 days. It's a lot of work, but, man, it's a lot of fun. And it's great to see those kids go on to college and have great success stories.
Yeah, it's really cool. Hey, it's about the third game here, wrapping up game number 2 on 17 and 18, getting into game number 3 on 19 and 20. Mike Flanagan here visiting with Chris Sand from Turbo, another great sponsor of this event, telling us all the great things going on at Turbo. And how many years did you come here prior to working for Turbo? Did you ever work this event?
Yeah, I did. I worked it only over at the Gold Coast. It's amazing how much it's growing. They keep talking about it continuing to grow and grow. But I was one of the guys handing out balls in the ballroom over at the Gold Coast there. So I have worked this event before, but I was always in the back. I was behind the scenes. Now I get to be out front on the concourse. So.
And Chris, you've participated on the PBA tour. Your big claim to fame is a defeat, really.
Yeah.
Parker Bone bowled 300 at you on television.
Yeah.
But you and I were talking a little bit yesterday, and you're going to get to bowl a little bit more now.
Yeah. I would say I'm coming out of retirement, but you have to have a career to come out of retirement. So I'm going to, put on my big boy pants and go bowl with the big boys once again. So I'm going to be bowling the USBC Masters in Green Bay in February. So I'll let those guys go beat up on me a little bit. Say hi to some old friends that I haven't seen in a while. I always like spending time with Mike Wolf and the boys. So I'm going to go out and represent for Turbo, but I'm also going to put on the shoes again and throw a couple shots down lane, and we'll see how we do.
Hey, you got a great history at the Masters.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember the ball you used when you made the TV show.
Yeah.
Joining us now is Wes Pye, by the way, the third leg of our broadcast team now. Welcome back, Wes.
Good to be back. You remember what ball that was?
Yeah, of course. It was the Sky Bowl.
Great bowling ball.
Oh,
you
yeah.
threw it good. You threw it good that week.
Yeah, man. It's turning up nightmares, you guys. Jeez, oh, Pete.
Sorry, partner. But hey, man, you made the show.
I did make the show. Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of people don't make the match play.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that event, but I've always done pretty well at it, and I'm hoping that trend continues a little bit, and go out and hopefully not embarrass myself, and do well.
Hey, you got a great game.
First make the cut, and then every match after that's just bonus. So.
2015 Military Bowling Championships. Mike Flanagan along with Chris Sand from Turbo, and Wes Pye joins us back in the booth. It's the 12 p.m. squad. We're about halfway through here of this squad. We saw some really high scores this morning, high scores again today, and we'll be bringing you another squad today at 4 o'clock. Singles today, doubles tomorrow, team yesterday, and if you want to check out and see who won yesterday, you can go over to militarybowlingchampionships.com, find out all the information. Also, Brad Edelman here in the chat wanted to let us know that Phil Prieto and his team won the team event yesterday, and also got the official word that Paul Pender won the senior retired singles over at the Gold Coast so far. So information available at militarybowlingchampionships.com. This tournament's been going on for 57 years, and as Chris said a little bit earlier, all these bowlers here are just happy to be competing, happy to be out on the lanes. And I actually, coming into this event, wasn't sure the skill set and the quality of bowlers, but these bowlers are all dressed the part. They've all got their 6-ball rollers, their 3-ball rollers, their 2-ball totes in their hands, and they are just bowlers. I mean, they are just. It's almost like a PBA tournament with the amount of bowling balls that are in this building.
Yeah, don't excuse their niceness for not being competitive, because they are very, very competitive, and all the branches of the military, they want to beat one another. That's definitely for sure. They kind of all have that PDW quality. He's nice. He's nice in the back, but man, don't mess with him on the lanes, because you're going to see the wrath.
It reminds me a little bit of like a cross between 3 events: USBC Open Championships, a PBA tournament, and college bowling.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, because there's a lot of camaraderie. I mean, as we've heard in many of the interviews you've done on the lanes, Mike, that hey, I'm here because this is my reunion every year with my buddies, my pals, my my military brethren and brothers in arms and what have you. And, one guy that you interviewed yesterday, Stoney, has been coming here for 40 years, 81 years young, 40 years, coming since 1975 of the old showboat.
Yeah, I actually got a buddy, Bobby Fisher. He's won an event here. And I've heard about this a lot. He's in the armed forces or in the Air Force, and I see him a lot in Detroit bowling. So we got to catch up a little bit, and he's told me all the stories. Man, he remembers every year. They've won the team event a couple of times, and how they fell short last year in all events, and man, they remember it all. He's a great guy. He's fun to be around, and it's just another example of how nice these guys are, and very, very appreciative, and we appreciate them every step of the way.
I have to admit, it is a new thing for me. This gentleman was 17 and 18. That's about the third person I've seen bowling in headphones.
Yeah.
I've seen guys bowl in their hats, like the guy yesterday who shot 300 with his hat on backwards.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll tell you what, I did see something yesterday that I've never seen in a bowling center before. I know we were talking about high scores, and I don't know the gentleman's name, and he probably doesn't want me to tell him the gentleman's name, but I saw a right-hander not only leave the 2-5-7-10, but he covered it like a glove.
Timmy knows him.
Does he?
Timmy brought his name up yesterday.
The 2-5-7-10,
wow.
And didn't even flinch, covered it like a glove. Just
wow.
Turned around, tipped his hat to the crowd, and said, "I'll be up in a second." So, yeah, I can't recall ever seeing a 2-5-7-10
I can't either.
In an event at all. So
I can't either.
I can guarantee I've never left it, and I've never made it either. So.
We were talking about it earlier that you've got the Orleans Casino property, bowling center, Boyd Gaming, as well as over at the Gold Coast. And you've got 140 lanes of bowling going on.
Yeah.
And, when we interviewed Brad, and we talked about it a couple of times, he says, I hate to admit it, but, we had to shut some people out. So we kind of been encouraging, Mike and Tim and I have been encouraging people, hey, if you want to come bowl this event and be part of it, hey, talk to Brad, talk to their tournament staff now, because they're all for adding the squads and adding the time and the days and everything. But just like back in the days of the Masters, I recall when you had to get that tournament entry in early, or you couldn't bowl.
Yep.
It would get full with 480 players year after year after year after year.
We were just talking about that because, unfortunately, before I came here, our Detroit City Masters was going on, which is a premier event that we have in Detroit, and I haven't gotten to bowl it a lot, and I had to miss it because I was coming out here. But the same way, remember back in the day where you had to get in
yes.
way in advance in order to even bowl that tournament. So, reminds me a lot of the high roller days.
Absolutely.
Make sure you got, you could have been in the tournament, but you want to bowl that Friday night 10 grand, or you better have had your money in pretty quick. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
The same way with the U.S. Opens. But,
yeah.
Even though it was an open event, if you weren't a certain status or PBA member, you had to go through the state qualifying, and it was something just to get into the tournament.
Yeah.
It was an honor to get into the event. Did you what was the gentleman's name, Mr. Jackson, earlier? What was his first name, Mike? Who shot the 1,000 too? Who had back-to-back 1,000 series?
Johnson?
Yes.
Was his last name Johnson?
Yes. I'm trying to remember his
Was it
first
Randy?
name.
No, it was Randy.
I thought it was something with an R.
You're going to call him Randy Johnson, and that was the wrong name. Now that's sticking out in my mind.
And Chris, you might have
Was
seen
it
him.
Rodney Johnson?
I'm trying to remember. I don't want to do any disrespect to him, but the gentleman he shot 1,000 yesterday. Southpaw, kind of looked a little bit like Rhino Page, but a little more on the ball. Right over here.
Yeah, I watched him. Yeah, I actually first saw the right-handed gentleman prior to. He had the front 11 and then left a stone 10, and he bowled like 260 with it looked like 8-1. Could easily blend it below 7-10, and then I don't know what was up with that lane, but on the front 11, not only if you're right-handed or left-handed, you were leaving the 10-pin
right.
for 299. It wasn't going to give up.
Right, absolutely. Well, what we learned about him was last year he was second in all events and he averaged 246.
Oh.
So now this year for 8, he's got over 2,000. He averaged 250. He might have a chance on all events this year.
Well, he learned he had to bowl a little bit better, didn't he?
Exactly.
246 just wasn't enough. So he learned that he had to get a little bit better in order to get there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that was one of the things we were discussing earlier about the versatility of the products. And you had two guys using cruxes, two totally different styles. This is a pretty open pattern here, with it being, a modified house shot, if you will. A lot of different players get to where they're in a lot of different ways, a lot of different equipment.
Yeah. Yeah, it was impressive. Both of those gentlemen was very, very impressive. The first gentleman, didn't miss a beat. And, bad break, ring and 10, it happens. If we could figure out how to get those ring and 10s out, we'd all be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
So far, we've got 11 award scores since Monday morning.
Wow. That's pretty strong. We were discussing it earlier. We noticed how the first game of each block, you've got somebody with the front 9, front 10.
Well, what's amazed me is how about the dedication of these men and women? I mean, they don't have an easy job.
No.
And to be continuing their bowling careers and be as good as they are,
competitive.
Those guys throw it good. They put their time, their effort. It just goes to show you their dedication. It's fascinated me.
Yeah, they've traveled long distances to be here to spend time with family and friends. We noticed last night the concourse was packed with people coming in watching the bowling. Extended family and friends and everything of the people that were here bowling, and it was a really unique time and experience. And I know both of our companies we represent. Very glad to be involved.
Oh, yes.
Very supportive. And I know that Turbo does a lot with a lot of different military projects and what have you, like Storm does. And it's just part of what you do.
Yeah, you have to. Every single person has said hello, good morning, have a smile on their face. I call them the happiest bowlers I've ever been around. It's a fantastic event, and these men and women, what they sacrifice, in their lives. We're definitely happy to be here for a week to support them in whatever we can. So we're definitely honored to be here.
Yeah, when Mike went down and interviewed the young man, Mr. Johnson earlier, he said, Mike asked each person, hey, what do you do? What was your role in the service? He says, well, if you've seen the movie Hurt Locker, I'm a munitions expert. So he's a bomb. He says, I defuse bombs. And after he got through the interview and everything, the young man said, hey, I'm just glad to be here having a good time.
Yeah.
And Mike said, hey, you ever thought about the Pro Tour? He says, kind of busy. It was a nice interview, but at the end of it, I'm like, man, well, he throws that bowling ball. It's like a bomb going off when it hits the pins. He's got it going.
Guys, good to see you in the booth. Great to be here with Chris Sand. I just joined the booth, guys. Tim Mack, and with Chris Sand and Wes Pye. I'm going to throw it down to Mike Flanagan. He's down on the lanes. Mike, what do you got for us?
Just checking out another pair here, giving some love to lanes 9 and 10.
Okay.
Up on lane number 10 right now, we got Robert Easterday.
They've been asking for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, so it's good that you're down there.
I like that shot, Mike. That's a good banner right there.
That is a good banner down there, Chris.
It's a great grip company.
We'll go back over here to lane 12, and we saw earlier John Barbeau.
There he is.
Was stringing them earlier.
He switched balls.
Yeah, got the high road out of his hand.
Tell him Tim Mack says go back to the high road.
I will.
Tell him move left.
Slinging over here to lane number 10. Ray Arnett.
Chipping the 4 into the 9? Or
Ray
no?
did trip the 4 pin.
But he left the 9. I'm going to ask him how to chip that 4 out of that 9. I usually leave the 4, the 9, the 7.
This is James Husinga. He's working on a Dutch through 4. Spare working in the 4th. See if he can get on the board here with a strike. The spin is good lane. I got a bad angle here, guys.
Do we get a military patch for a Dutch?
I don't know.
Maybe a coin.
Leroy Long over here on lane 8. Crossing over for a strike with the gold ball.
Goldie. Was that Pop Seed coming up on lane 9?
The ball looks different without that big blue oil ring that Wes was chugging it down the lane a few days ago.
Here's Waver Sneed.
I like Pop Sneed better than Waver. Oh, you got a nice arm swing.
Strikes, or I'm sorry, double 6 spare, 9 spare strike 9.
Is anybody stringing right now? Over only with the high end here. On 27 and 28, we get the front 5. from what we can see. But
This is Robert 4, lane number 10.
Well, he gets down and gets into it.
Starting to creep high down here. I'll let you guys take it back to your pairs. I'll see what else I can find.
Gotcha, Mike. Thanks for that. Just to elaborate what you guys were talking about with Raymond Johnson, the lefty. I saw him throw a shot earlier. I was like, wow, we got to get that kid on video, right? So he shoots 266 the third game. And then, obviously shoots the 299 the last game. But, I mean, he really gets through it really good.
Oh.
I mean, really, really, really good. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. I took lunch, and I couldn't stop thinking about it at lunch. The only vision I had in my mind was the Hurt Locker.
Because he referenced it in his interview.
That's what he referenced in his interview. That he defuses bombs and the kind of trouble that he walks into. Talk about a guy that can't be nervous.
Yeah. You think he was nervous on the front 11?
I was going to say, no. There's no nerves there.
No.
I think he's got a loose swing out here.
Yeah.
And they're all so humble, too.
Amazing.
I mean, everybody congratulates everybody. I mean, he's walking back, taking his balls back in the paddock. Nice game, thank you. Nice game, thank you. They're so humble. It's an amazing time.
I said this earlier the last 2 days, Chris, and you know this because you've been up amongst the best of the bowlers as well in the world when you were bowling a lot.
Hey, Timmy, I got Daryl Cook down here on lane 25.
All right, I'm going to throw you down to 25 as we continue our story here. Daryl's got the front 4, but we talked about it. I think all youth, well, he gets into it, huh?
That was the big curve.
He's got the big slow wheel going, the Brian Kretzer slow wheel. You might want to have to stay down there and see if he's going to continue his striking. But back to that story that we talked about. I'm going to go back to you, Mike. Sorry. You got another guy that's got the front 5 as well. I think all the professionals and the youth bowlers today should actually have to come watch this tournament. You watch how good they're competing, how hard they're competing. But when something bad happens to them, you never see any negative emotion going out. No one's going to be kicking ball returns, blaming everybody but themselves. You're never going to see that. And
right.
I think it's a lesson learned. And I put my hand up right now and tell you that I'm one of those guys that have hit some stuff in my career over the course of my career. But those were obviously when I was a little bit younger and things were different. Still, I think it's a lesson learned from the people that are bowling out here. Everybody could take a lesson from it.
Yeah, no, I have not heard one person complain about the pattern or this didn't match up.
Right.
It was, I didn't do well, what did I bowl? It was because I made some bad shots. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. There was no blaming any other outside force. They all took responsibility for it. And I agree with you.
Yeah, it's a lesson learned sometimes. Sometimes it's a hard lesson, and some people have to check their egos at the door and swallow their pride. But in the end of the day, you can never stop learning, and that's something I think that that's one of the another thing I've taken from this event, being here for the first time. Mike, I'm gonna pass it over to the main pairs. You tell me when you got something interesting down there for us. You got. Take a peek at it, all right? But the unique thing about it is listen to all the stories and where people have come from. Yesterday we had viewers on, Chris. We had viewers on from Denmark, Spain, Guam, Florida, Georgia, all over the United States, Hawaii, Alaska. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, I was talking to Dave Axon yesterday. He was talking about, trying to line up all his leaves in order to plan them around bowling events.
That's awesome.
It's just absolutely amazing. To travel that distance to come and bowl, what are they bowling, 9, 12 games maybe?
Yeah, 12 games. They bowl four in each set. And
12 games. And but yeah, it's absolutely fantastic that they all get together once a year. Kudos to Brad and the staff to provide an atmosphere and an event for them to get their competitive juices going too. And you see the banners back here as if it's a title, and it means a lot to these men and women.
No doubt.
Fantastic.
And you mentioned Brad, and Brad's been in the chat. He just actually threw out a little statistic for us. We've had 11 award scores since Monday morning. So not only are they these guys know what they're doing. They got some guys out there who can sling it. You can bring every top professional in here right now, and Raymond Johnson still shot 408 over for 8 games. Okay, so he's still averaging 250. So it's not like even if they came out here, I know it's a house shot, but even if they came out here, he'd be striking with everybody.
Oh yeah,
You know, so we got some guys out here that can bowl. It's fun to see, and being part of the industry like myself and Wes and Mike Flanagan and obviously Chris Sandar, it's nice to be here for us to show our support to these guys.
You know, we were talking a little earlier also about how they're bowling on the same pair.
Right.
So they've got to make it work out, you know, because, you know, they're bowling with their same, you know, teammates, what have you. And breaking the lanes down is really, really key.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And Bobby and you know, going back to Bobby Fisher, the gentleman that I know from back home, they, you know, and again they're being prepared. You know, they're prepared for every single. They had a plan. They had a plan on how they were going to attack it and break it down. And you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But you're definitely ain't missing any scores from here either. And they definitely know what it's like to work together. That's for sure.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're really proud to be here. We got Chris Sanda, our friend from Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, one of the sponsors of the 2015 Military Championships here at the Orleans Bowling Center Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. The second, the other facility is over at the Gold Coast. Some of the other sponsors involved with us are Storm Bowling Products, which Mr. Sand is a former colleague there.
He's still on our team as far as I'm
Absolutely.
concerned.
I'm with
He's
you.
never
I'm
left.
with you there.
He sold a lot of product for us for a long time, and he fills all of our products as far as I'm concerned.
Once you're in, you're in.
Sandman's a Storm lifer.
Once you're in.
He's a
Once you're
lifer.
in, you're in.
Speaking of companies, I just want to throw this out there, Wes. I don't want to interrupt you, but
No, please.
I'm pretty sure Dave Bernhardt's birthday's today.
It is Dave
He's
Senior's
the owner,
birthday.
The owner of Storm.
Yes, it is.
On
Yep.
a turbo.
Yeah. He. I'm sure he's back home. He's probably practicing. Knowing Dave, he's gonna
You ready
practice.
for the PBA 50?
Yeah. What's today? Tuesday. So no league today. So Dave's definitely in there practicing at our Tulane facility at Turbo Tech. That's for sure. So you know, happy birthday, Dave. I sent him a text earlier this morning. What a great guy. You know, and referencing the two companies. You know, I've had an opportunity to spend some time with Mr. Crispin, and obviously I had a lot of time spent with Mr. Bernhardt. And those two remind me a lot of each other. The passion that those two have, you know, for bowling is absolutely amazing. And, you know, God bless Dave for I mean, he's even in our Thursday night league, he's as competitive as ever. And he's always back there tinkering. And that man practices and practices and practices. And he's an absolute honor to work for.
He bowled the World Series, actually, this year.
He did, and I almost had him talked into bowling the Masters with me in Green Bay, but you know, he's going to go down to Florida. The weather in Detroit's been a little bad. He's going to save himself for the Senior Masters, but he bowled the Detroit Masters over
Florida,
the weekend.
Green Bay.
Yeah, I can't. That's what I've been telling everybody. You can't say, oh wow, Chris, you got to leave Michigan and go to Las Vegas, because Green Bay in January balances out Las Vegas in January. So.
Well, I'm sure that it'll be interesting when we get up there. But the only reason I mentioned the World Series is because I worked the World Series as a ball rep, and he made a run actually in one of the patterns. He was close coming down the stretch in one of the patterns. I can't remember which pattern it was, but
He can bowl. He can bowl.
Dave Bernhardt, when you have what you said, the passion, the work ethic, and the drive, you know, he's not doing it for money. He's doing it because
Absolutely.
It's inside him.
Yep.
And it's the same thing with Bill Crispin. You know, he's doing what he's doing for the bowling because bowling's inside him. And those two guys are really synonymous with one another. It's
Absolutely.
interesting parallels.
Dave still puts together our city tournament, our state tournament, and a USBC. He takes 20 guys to the USBCs.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You know, and he's always planning and plotting and who's he going to put together and how they're going to go.
Yeah.
You know, what are they going to do? I remember the old team challenge days, and you know, he's into it. He loves it. So yeah, they're two great men to work for. I've been very, very fortunate to work for both of them, and you know, it shows why they are where they are, the passion and the dedication that they have.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Absolutely.
Look at the all-star lineup we have there above 15 and 16's Maskey unit on the screen right now. We got Wes Pye, Chris Sand, Tim Mack up in the booth, Mike Flanagan working the floor for you. Happy to have so many great people out here participating in the event and also working the event. You know, the high roller event crew that are working this event. We have 30 workers, you know, that Brad has, and Wendy's doing a great job over here, and of course Brad's parked at the Gold Coast most of the time, and you know, we got Lee up, and Jocko and some of the other folks helping us out from Storm here in the ballroom. Just a really big group effort.
I'm about to tell you, you got to get on your horse right now because on 25 and 26 and 27 and 28, we have 2 guys with the front 8. So we're gonna need Miyagi down in the settee there, doing what you do.
Miyagi.
You forgot the camera.
Keep him straight, Tim.
He's my Miyagi. I mean, when it comes to these productions, Mike Flanagan's. He's got it going on. He knows what's going on, no doubt about it. So it's great to be part of it. So I've enjoyed it. This is my last day of live streaming. I go to the other venue tomorrow. I've got the Gold Coast on Wednesday and Thursday, so I'll be at the Gold Coast tomorrow. So do you have a booth set up over there?
We do. Yeah, Dave Jr.'s working it over there. So he's been the representative for Turbo the last 5 or 6 years. But as this tournament has grown, he caught a lot of flack over the last few years for only coming over here one day. So with the growth, they decided to send me out this time, and so we have a full-time representative here. I'll be packing up tomorrow. I'm actually headed home.
I got action here, guys.
Yep, I got you. You're on. Who do you got down there? Javier Perez? That's what it looks like. Lane 28. Looks like an Optimus. Looks like the front 9.
Nice pitch.
All right.
Nice shot.
And then right next door, Mike, we got another string of strikes going right next door as well. On the left here, on 25.
Daryl Cook.
So you got to head home tomorrow, Sam, man, huh?
Thursday.
Okay, Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I came in Saturday. I don't know if I should, reveal this, but I spent my 40th birthday in Las Vegas, so
God
it was
bless.
a lot of fun. But I don't want to reveal how old I am, so we won't talk about that anymore.
Hey, there
it
we
was
go.
an anniversary of a previous birthday.
Right,
2 front 9s. 40's just the number parts.
I hear you. It's what my wife keeps telling me.
40's the old 30.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe the old 27. Any case, Mike, I'm still down with you down on the lanes. You got any other interesting parallels going on down there that you can see that we can't see from our vantage point?
Not really. We got a 290 and a 280 working on 23 and 24 through 6 frames. They're a little behind these 2 lanes here, or these 2 pairs.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it back to the main pair, and maybe you can set up for. Let us know when you're ready for those guys when they come up in their 10th frames, respectively.
Yeah, watching that Lefty Johnson this morning definitely made me feel 40.
He was pretty soft-spoken. I got to be honest with you, but
Hey, am I still on?
I'm going to throw you on right now. You are now. You're on. And we got the front 9 on lane 36. We can see it.
BJ Riley.
You've got it obviously zoomed in quite far because we can't. That's very good. This is the furthest we've got down the lane. He's got 523 for the first 2.
Wow, that's getting him.
This is 800 if he strikes. Actually, if he spares, he's shooting 800 for the first 3. Here goes BJ with just so you know, he's got a turbo patch right here on his back.
Oh, there it is. I kept looking for that Marvel S. That one always catches my eye. That's my newfound favorite.
That's your go-to pellet.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Did he just wash out? Are we correct to see that? Did he wash out?
Washed out.
Okay, so he needs a spare for 800. If my math serves me right. Spare and a strike for 800 even. 277 gives him 800 even. Let's stay with him. I don't think we've had 800 yet in the tournament for the first 3 games yet, have we? Or at least if we have, we haven't heard about it. So we'll stay down there with BJ. BJ and the Bear, good TV show back in 1984. See if he can cover the spare. And he does. All right. Now.
Maybe underscore number 12.
Strike for 800. Mike, what's the call? You've been known to be down in the sports book once in your life. What do you think?
He is most definitely going to bowl 800 on the nose.
Okay. 799. He's going to leave a 4-pin. Wow. He's going to make the overcorrection because he went light. He's going to 4-pin. And if he does make the overcorrection and 4-pin, it's 3 of you in the booth. I'm going to play lottery for us. Oh, high flush.
See? It goes back to he
Thank
was
God.
accountable. He knew he threw it bad.
Good.
So he didn't make the move.
That's right.
He didn't overcorrect. And he bowls 800.
800.
Trust his game.
And
How about that, huh?
Somebody just asked him if he ever bowled 800, and he said no.
Wow.
First 800 ever. We need to get
First
him on.
800.
We need to get him on film. We need to get a video of him when we get a chance.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work on 35 and 6, but I'll try.
Yeah. Well, do what you do. Let's come on down here into the 20s again. These guys on lane 28, they're about to get up in his 10th frame for his bid for 300, and then
I'm going to have two at once here.
yeah, you'll have them both. Have you ever had two at once before on the camera?
A couple times. A couple of times I've had 300s going on a couple of pairs. Yes,
That's
Tim.
fantastic. All right, your camera's off right now, Mike. We're black. We need to get you on. You're on. You're still off. You're on again. You're good. All right, I'm throwing it down to you right now. Javier Perez, front 9, jamming the high road, as Purvis Granger would say, jam it up 12. And that's pretty jammed.
Boom.
There you go. Looks pretty relaxed out there. And then we have Daryl Cook.
Daryl's going to wait. Javier Perez, front 10, looking for 11. Try to get a little different angle here.
That's firm. All right. Looks like it's going to be 287 or 288. Time to go over to Mr. Cook. I have a request. If he throws the first one, I want you to get the lane view of the second one.
You got it. $286.
286, solid game.
All right, back over to Daryl Cook.
All right, what's the call? Is he doing it?
300. He just watched Javier not do it.
Okay. Looks like he's using an IQ Tour Fusion. Is that right? Maybe not. I don't know.
Does he not? Did he not have a thumb in the
It
ball?
is not
It
an
didn't look like
IQ.
it.
It is
Okay.
not an IQ tour.
Oh, I couldn't tell. Okay, ring 10. That'll thwart his bid. So possible 279 for 747. That's pretty good. I hope I have 747 my first 3 games in the PBA Tournament of Champions in about 3 weeks.
There you go. Be a nice start.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
Oh.
Okay, so 267. And I'm going to throw it back to our main pairs here. Mike, if you see anything else down there, let us know.
So before I excuse myself and get back to my booth here, I need to take advantage of your guys' expertise. As I mentioned, I'm getting ready to go bowl the Masters.
Okay.
And Ernest told me to drill a Crux Pearl. All
Absolutely.
right. So what
Absolutely.
am I looking forward to with that one coming in for me?
Well, I haven't seen the Crux Pro go down the lane, but I've obviously seen a lot of Cruxes go down the lane. So the Crux has been probably, in my opinion, our most versatile asymmetrical ball that we've made on the Storm side in quite some time. When we shined the cover, it actually it really cleared the front and the mid quite well, and had plenty of kick on the back. And if you touch the cover, it obviously rolled really, really strong early in the mid lane. So I would assume that the Crux Pearl is going to give you a little bit more length than obviously than the Crux, and it's going to store its energy a little bit longer, probably in the that 38 to 40, 42 foot break pattern. Even though it's asymmetrical, it's still going to be pretty strong coming off the spot. So I think I've just seen so many Cruxes in so many different people's hands,
Right.
from people that don't have high rev rate and people that have high rev rate. For me, when I see bowlers that have high rev rate and low rev rate, and it works for a myriad of different styles, that tells me the window of that ball is quite large. So I would assume that the Crux Pearl is going to be the same. I haven't seen it go down the lane yet, so I can't really give you the best opinion about it, but just based on the Crux and us taking that cover and making it a Pearl, I think we're going to have a lot of options. It's going to give us a lot of options with the bowling ball.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's going to fill a lot of the blanks. It's very similar to when you had the virtual gravity, then you brought out kind of the pearlized version. You saw a whole lot more range than just being a pearlized version. With that Catalyst weight block, it's going to give you a little different look. I think it's going to be more angular in the back than what you have with the Crux. So you're going to have a whole range that you're going to be able to, as Tim said, have something out of the box, have something polished with a regular Crux, but then have the Pearl Crux as well.
I'm excited about the Rocket.
How can you not be?
It's hard not to get excited
How
about
can
the
you
Rocket.
not be?
Yeah. So, and I think that could be a benchmark ball in our line for quite a long time.
Another 6-year run with that one.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what happens. But I'm glad you're bowling the Masters. I'll be looking forward. I'll be behind you trying to help and
I'll be
supporting.
out there.
Looking forward to seeing you out on the lanes again. It's been a while, and obviously continued success on the lanes and off the lanes, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks for everything for what you do for bowling, for our personal relationship, my friendship that goes back 20 years with you. It's 99, 95, 96 since I've known you. I've known you a long time, but what you do for bowling is great, and hopefully we can continue trying to grow the sport.
Well, I appreciate the honor in being in the booth with Timmy Mack and Mike Flanagan and Wes Pye. It's been fun spending time with you guys. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work, and we'll definitely see you somewhere down the line.
Sounds good. Chris Sand, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much, buddy.
All right, guys.
Thanks for coming in. What can you say? Class guy. Nothing but good things about Chris Sand. We need more guys like him in the industry, but he's the man. So
absolutely.
Just another one of those situations where anytime you get on our broadcast, you don't know who we're going to stumble across and who you're going to have in there. And another expert in bowling. I mean, that guy is smart. And I'm going to tell you something about Chris Sand. I mean, some people have it, the gift of gab, and can give a nice, clear message. And anytime that guy talks, I sit back and I listen because he presents his information so well and he knows what he's doing.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Okay, we need to check here. Can I see lanes 11 and 12? I'm overseas. Would love to see a shot before my friends go to bed. Okay, we're going to take the camera down to 11 and 12, and we'll
You know what I love about that? Tim just read that out loud, and he was like, "Yep, okay, yep,
we got to do
that."
I may even take the camera down there for you. But if one of our military service members is overseas and asking to see his friends before he goes, takes a snooze, ask. And you shall receive, my friend. That's what happens when you have Mike Flanagan as your director. There he is, 11 and 12. I'm assuming you're in Germany then, if you're watching these guys, because I was in Germany not too long ago. We did an exhibition and clinic up there with myself, Mike Fagan, and Dominic Barrett. So hopefully you came to that. If you're friends with John, because John's a buddy of mine, and I've known John for a while, so if you are, you can respond to that. Oh, you're in England. Oh, okay. Where are you, in Lakenheath or where are you?
Milden Hall.
Milden Hall? In any case, we appreciate what you're doing over there. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And thanks for the support for watching the event today. We're going to give you some live feed of your friends here. On 11 and 12, we'll watch each player throw a shot, and then we need our guru back up here. Mike Flanagan back in the booth. We need our pulse, our heart rate, our heartbeat. Mr. Mike Flanagan.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Lakenheath. They're perfect.
Well, you know what comes up at 4 o'clock?
Yep.
It's the music hour.
Yeah, music hour at 4 o'clock. Lakenheath, PGIG. I was in Lakenheath in 2010 when Chris McIntyre was running the place there, and more of a I can't pronounce her name, but she's back in America now. Did a nice little day there with Dominic Barrett, myself. Met some great servicemen and servicewomen, some great people over there. Just fantastic place. Stay away from the casino there. Fantastic. Good stuff for you, partner. We're giving you some live feeds of your friends here before you Mack back and go to bed. It's 5 o'clock. What's going on? 10 o'clock there? 10, 11 o'clock in the night? You must have an early morning in the morning. So we appreciate you staying up late and showing the support to your fellow military members. So we'll watch a couple more shots here. We'll watch John.
Well, we can add
Kyle.
another country to the list.
Yep, England, yep.
Was that England? We had Germany, like you said earlier.
Guam, Denmark, Spain.
And quite a few countries in the U.S. checking in. And if it isn't one of the ones we've shouted out to yet, hey, please check in with us.
Hey,
we've had Utah, we've had California, we've had Georgia, Florida.
Hey, Mr. Flanagan, apparently John listened. He went back to the high road.
Yes, he did.
That's good. We'll let you see this last shot here of our, what is that, is it Steven? I can't see his name. Is it Steven Kern?
Yep.
We'll see Steven's Kern, PGIG, and then I need my heartbeat back in the booth. Okay, partner? Let's see what he's got here. Yeah, at the front 8 last game, or front 7 last game. I love his haircut. Aggressive style, leaves a 4-pin. But, yeah. There's your boys having a go. Perfect. Message them about the switch. All right.
They'll do anything to keep the camera on.
Yeah. Mike, we'll let him pick up the spare. We'll throw this one last shot on lane 12, and I need you back up here. Because we might have a storm brewing somewhere else that we might need to get to. So, hey, we really appreciate what you're doing too. Anything we can do to help you out, it's our pleasure. Lake and Heath. Actually, I brought my shirt, RAF Lake and Heath. So thanks, Mike, for that. Really appreciate it. And there you go. Got the chance to watch you boys, and I got my RAF Lake and Heath shirt with me here, actually, in Vegas this week. So it's funny you mentioned that. Thanks for tuning in. Get a good rest over there. Stay safe over there. We appreciate what you do for us and for everybody here in America.
Well said, Tim.
It's amazing where people are watching. You know, just when I first started broadcasting, I never really realized how many people you could reach with a online streaming channel. You know, first time was just with a laptop, and there was no switching of cameras. There was no tripods. There was
no wireless camera.
Yeah, no, just, you know. And to think where we are now with people watching makes it worth it. You know?
It's nice. It's also very nice for you to be able to accommodate some of these requests you're getting, and also, you know, using the wireless camera to have the different angles and the different ball rolls and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, and if we, I mean, so here's the deal, right? So live streaming and streaming television shows and things like that, we all know that's the future. We know that cable television is eventually not going to exist, just like a landline telephone. Some people will have it,
it's going away.
But it will be gone. And when you think about bowling, to me, bowling has always been behind the times. You know, how many bowling centers or companies in bowling don't have an up-to-date database, or they're not doing what Amazon does. If you're browsing one item, you get an email later that night saying, hey, you were looking at this. You sure you don't want to buy it? And bowling is behind in a lot of ways. So with this live streaming, I feel like bowling is ahead of some of the other sports with as much live streaming as that we're able to do. So to continue to push this and be ahead of the curve in something, you know, I mean, technology, of course, in bowling ball technology, that's moving along quite nicely as well. But from covering the sport, there might be a day when ESPN says, we don't want bowling on TV. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but if it does, it's nice to have a backup plan.
Very much so.
You know, that's what I like. That's what I like about it. This is not going away. It's going to continue to be more and more.
Well, it's accessible.
There's so
cost
many,
effective.
Yeah, there's
It
so
makes sense at so many different levels.
Yeah,
Well,
and
if people can identify with bowlers. I mean, we can identify with bowlers. We can identify with a guy who hits a baseball 400 feet or throws a football 80 yards.
I
or,
can.
well, you are Tim Mack.
I hit baseball 400 feet. My championship game.
I don't think I could drive one in a car 400 feet.
I can't throw the football 80 yards, but I can catch an 80-yard bomb. Run
No, but
somebody
you-
over.
but
But I
you-
know what you mean.
Yeah, but you
I
make
can't dunk a
but
basketball.
you make a good point, Mike, because
So true.
having all the platforms and embracing them, and also making it part of it, and having people come along to be involved with live streaming, to think. I mean, would we have thought about watching a tournament, a PBA tournament on the internet, just two or 3 years
and
ago?
a lot of us did Saturday night,
Exactly.
and that's going to sell bowling balls.
Absolutely. And it's going to help the exposure of the sport. Absolutely. Got to keep it visible, keep it viable.
I'm gonna say something here that might be controversial on the air, but I'm gonna say it. The people that watch live streaming are bowling junkies.
Nothing wrong with bowling junkies.
They are the people that drill 4 to 15 balls a year. They are the people that just love bowling, multiple leagues per week. And it's those people that are our army, our troops, so to speak, to tie in with this event, that are the ones that hold the cards on what happens in bowling. So if through this cult following of online streaming, we can take all of these people that are the bowling purists and get them to introduce more people into bowling, I truly believe that even though ESPN, and this is the controversial part, even though ESPN may get you a certain rating on TV and 1 million people watched it, the quality of those people watching that can translate into dollars for bowling is very low per person. Very low, it's a lot of people that like to watch it, but they don't necessarily, it doesn't translate into dollars.
Well, if a sports bar has it on and you don't know who they are.
Now, I do believe it does drive people to go bowl, and they think about going bowling.
Okay.
No question.
You're talking from a sales perspective.
I'm talking from an internal sales perspective of companies such as Storm and Storm's competitors, Turbo and Turbo's competitors.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Right.
This is really where it's at, because when you think about how many units of a particular product that you sell, no matter what company you want to pick in bowling, it's never the amount that you would that watches PBA on ESPN.
Right.
So if there's 1 million people watching that, there's probably, and I'm totally guessing here, nobody hold me to this number, but I'm guessing 50,000 are real bowling shoppers. People that shop in bowling. That is a potential sale, not a potential sale, but people that regularly buy bowling items.
And interesting to see if we could find that number, how we could do that. You know,
And an interested consumer.
But when you go live streaming, I'm going to throw that number at about 80%.
Well, it's the people that are interested. They want to know more about the game. They want to keep up with what the players are doing. They want to see it. And as the technology continues to get better and better and better, with the cameras, with the ability to the bandwidth that you're able to use, so it becomes even clearer and better, and you have more clarity. Where, like earlier today, you're able to pick up the ball revolutions on that lane cam. As that gets better and better and better, and the content gets better, the interest is going to increase. That's my opinion.
Now, I believe we need network television for bowling, and this is Mike said that live streaming's better than ESPN. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, to the people that discredit this, I think it's a little more important than what some people think. And that's not directed at anyone. I'm just making a generalization that I don't think people realize how important this is right now, but it's going to become more and more important. And I can see the future.
You've got to have the pings and the mentions. Look at how many times, if you watch any type of broadcast television or radio or whatever, how many times do you get pinged with a message for a particular product or later on there's a derivative of that ad that's, maybe it goes from a 30-second to a 15-second. But how many times do they ping you with that message for a very valuable reason? They want to get your attention just long enough to get that call to action. By having you being pinged in this example of live streaming, events being available, me being able to tune in, maybe watching a European Tour event, or watching the Japan Cup, or watching the military championships, that's going to keep me thinking about viewing and looking for that bowling content. And keeping that visibility for that bowling content drives the people to when it's much more accessible on the ESPNs, the ESPN2s, and what have you.
Yep.
And it must be working because, as we talked about earlier, the ratings were significantly up for the live broadcast. There's nothing like a live show because that is when the news is being made. That is when the news is happening, and that's what you have with live streaming as well.
So now that we're off that soapbox, beginning of game number 4 on 17 and 18, halfway through game number 4 on 19 and 20, Mike Flanagan, Wes Pye, and Tim Mack bring you continuing coverage of the 2015 Military Bowling Championships. Presented by Storm, Turbo, Counts Customs, Bowlers Journal International, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Jim Beam, the Budweiser family brand of beers, Edelman Financial, K&K Bowling Services, and the Southern New Hampshire University.
Hey, before we get off that topic for a second.
Sure, let's jump back in.
I think there's another very valuable piece of the demographic we're not mentioning. If you look at the technology and who's embracing the technology, it skews younger, because it's part of their social media experience. I mean, I have a 16-year-old daughter. She keeps up with all these different things that are going on, that go viral, YouTube, what have you. And I think the more viable we make that to have content available that's cool or that's catchy or witty or clever or what have you, we're going to capture those younger consumers. They're going to look at bowling as being just not the Saturday afternoon recreation, but you're going to have so many people that aspire to say, hey, you know what, I kind of like that bowling thing. I'm going to do that some more. That bowling bug bites them. And so you're keeping that out in front of them for that to happen.
Yep. And do you know that on Ustream, 2 of the largest events I've ever seen people rally around, one was a hidden camera. Well, not a hidden camera, but a camera that was on bald eagles, and they were waiting for the eggs to hatch. And there was like 600,000 people watching this, just waiting for the eggs to hatch of a bald eagle. And then the other one is when NASA has these spaceship launches, or when they show like some outer space Hubble telescope images, they get millions to watch.
Well, I was watching the news this morning, and there is a YouTube channel that gets millions of hits a year. It is one of the top grossing YouTube channels. It grossed over $5 million in their hits and their advertisements last year. And it is a channel totally about, they buy toys, they take them out of the boxes.
And they open them.
They open them and they show how they work.
They're unboxing videos.
They do about 1,600 videos, if I remember the statistic correctly, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but they do about 1,600. And if you're a parent or you're an interested consumer, and that gets right back to what we're talking about, giving people content, education, knowledge, so that way they make a more informed decision if it's about a bowling ball or a Barbie doll. I mean, the more informed we can make the consumer and help them learn what the experience can be about, the better off we're going to be.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
And we need to skew younger, because that's when you get into the advertising dollars, the Madison Avenue and the 18 to 35 year olds. That's where the eyeballs are, that are the consumers that help drive television.
And if anybody's out there watching right now and you have children, start them early on the computer. Give them a video camera. Kids love to film things. And degree in video production is where it's at. Social media is not going away. And there was a stat that I showed at the sales meeting this past year that I believe it was 70-something%, my memory doesn't serve me right, of all social media by the year 2016 will be video.
Absolutely great. And I'll give you one more caveat. And Tim can chime in here, having spent a lot of time traveling internationally over the last few years, and Tim's been doing it for 20 years, learning a second or even a third language and having that type of respect and that type of rapport is second to none. I don't, but I certainly have a lot of colleagues in Europe that speak 3 or 4 languages, and the perception and also the ability to communicate on that level and from a respect point, if you will.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Wes. I mean, the more you can speak someone else's language and communicate, because we're actually speaking the same language in bowling,
Right.
where you can convey to them in their language, there's a comfort level that goes into that. And also, when they're comfortable, when customers are comfortable, guess what happens?
Absolutely.
They want to buy.
Exactly.
They're eager.
You're taking one more obstacle away, like Peter Somoff in Germany.
Yep.
Andres
Peter
Gomez,
does a great job in Germany with it.
Andres Gomez in any of the
Latin countries does
exactly.
a great job with it.
Fantastic.
And I can get by here and there, and even if you try, and you make an effort, and you can say hello, goodbye, thank you, small catchphrases which I've been able to pick up because I've never had any kind of proper teaching or learned it. It goes a long, long way.
And it's also respect. Whenever they've known that you've gone to try to learn some phrases, and you're being respectful, because when you're in another country, you're in someone else's home.
Absolutely.
And I've heard so many people here in the States saying, well, if you're here, you need to learn blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? Maybe that's the way they feel when we go. And my point of that about another language is just because it drops those boundaries, but also, in your take, Mike, when you're talking about video production and content, you're able to make that translate into so many more languages and understand the nuances of certain customs.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things I've picked up from you, Tim, and also from Peter, is the nuance in customs sometimes speak volumes about having the respect there. And that can go volumes whenever you're trying to make sure that a product is packaged correctly for the video content.
You think about it this way. When I go to like I was in Saudi Arabia just last month, and I ran out of toothpaste, so I went over and got toothpaste. It said Crest on it, but everything else was in Arabic. Okay, all the major companies are able to do it. We have to, we should be able to afford to do that as well, because it gives them a comfort zone. Now, when we
Absolutely.
when we try to do things in Korea, for example, our great international salesman Robert Dong, that's his territory. Mm-hmm. He gets things
Right.
translated in Korean or Japanese.
Absolutely.
And that's why it works so well. That's also our two largest markets outside of America in the world.
That's right.
And that's because we've gone the extra mile and have done something like that to make the people at home feel comfortable. I couldn't agree with you more.
Absolutely. All right.
Hey guys, real quick, we're going to leave you to a little bit of bowling. I need to talk with these guys for just a second about some production things, and we'll be right back. We have got a plan for the next couple of days, everybody. Welcome back. 2015 Military Bowling Championships. Mike, Wes, and Tim. We'll just bring it right back into the booth because I just got to have a little man crush Tuesday going on here. I absolutely love these two guys right here. These are a couple of my cohorts in crime. I love working with these guys, and just happy you guys were willing to spend some time here on this deal. Yeah, you can take that?
You want to talk to her?
No, well, I'm on the
I'll
air
be right back,
now,
guys.
buddy.
Home is calling, so Timmy's
Home is calling.
Indianapolis is checking in.
And somebody keeps moving cameras on me here. Our angles keep getting more and more moved.
Yeah, well, thanks for us taking that little break while we sorted out a couple production issues here. And just welcome back to the 2015 Military Championships, brought to you by Storm Products, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, Counts Customs, Bowlers Journal International, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Jim Beam, Budweiser, the King of Beers, Edelman Financial, K&K Bowling Services, and Southern New Hampshire University. So welcome back after a little short break. We're here at the Orleans. The Companion Center Gold Coast is also hosting part of the event of the Military Championships. There's 140 lanes of bowling taking place. This event has been the first military event, as we've learned, started in 1957. This is the 58th year of existence of the Military Championships. The high roller group, Brad Edelman and his fine staff, have been operating and managing this tournament for the last 10 years, and it has grown by leaps and bounds. They've really made it a very, very attractive event and a lot of fun for a lot of people in the military, as well as they've been sold out, as we learned from Brad yesterday. And if you want to be here, if you're past or present military or reserves, or have a loved one or a friend that's involved in that and they want to come bowling, get in touch with Brad Edelman and his fine group at high-roller.com or at militarybowlingchampionships.com, and they'll certainly try to do their best to help accommodate and grow this field for another day or two or some more squads next year.
Yeah, and they've also got their True Amateur tournaments coming up next week, right?
That's right. The True Amateur Challenge starts just after some football game in Arizona concludes the Sunday before. I heard it's some game down there.
Yeah, and it's like a pick'em or something.
Yes, it's a pick'em.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. And by the way, the NFL, talking about the two teams that are in it, the guys from Seattle, the Seahawks, the defending champions, and the New England Patriots, they were going to suspend Marshawn Lynch if he wore his gold cleats. So they pretty much put the hammer down on what was going on to make sure that these guys conformed to what they wanted to do. That's going to be a great ball game. Great ball game. Two great teams, two great franchises, and it'll be interesting to see how it works out.
Who's your pick, Wes? Do you have one yet?
I think there'll be another safety. I've partaken in a proposition bet the last 2 years. I've done the safety the last couple of opportunities I've been able to be here in town, and courtesy of Peyton Manning last year and Tom Brady a couple of years ago, that comes home. My pick 'em, I don't know. You got two really good teams. That's the reason I had to pick 'em here.
What was the odds on the safety?
8-1. 8-1. And it would get this one. You're going to love this one. I feel like I'm really in Las Vegas sports radio now because we're talking about sports book stuff. But there was actually a proposition bet. If you bet that as being the first score of the game at the MGM, I was at another property. I was at the Hard Rock for a Super Bowl party, and it was 8-1 there if it was scored in any time in the game.
Okay.
And long story made short, when the safety was scored, when Tom Brady, intentionally grounded, blah blah blah, in the end zone, safety, blah blah blah. Anyhow, the ripple effect went through that a guy had bet $1,000 in MGM at 75-1 that it'd be the first score of the game would be a safety, $75,000. Now, bear in mind that's sports book talk, so who knows? But it's kind of exciting when you see some of those prop bets come through, and that's really the true fun of some of the side stuff at the Super Bowl is, the coin toss, or if there's an NBA guy that's going to score more points and so-and-so is going to get rushing yards.
Yeah, sure.
And all those fun things. But I think it's going to be a great ball game. Seattle is on a mission. They've been on a mission, and they've got the beast in full beast mode. He's skittled up. He's ready to go with Marshawn Lynch, and then on the other side of the coin, you've got so many weapons with the New England Patriots from Gronk, who might be the true cause of the deflating footballs, spiking them in the end zone. So, who knows? It's going to be a great ball game. 48.5, I heard, was the over. So I think there's going to be some points. I think it's going to be an entertaining Super Bowl.
Just to continue to tell Vegas stories here really quick, a few years ago, 2011.
Hey, Tim Banks, how are you?
St. Louis Cardinals were almost eliminated, had to win a lot of games at the end of the season, and there was a 500-1 that they would win the National League pennant and 991-1 shot that they would win the World Series. And Better put 500 on each one. No, the first was 250 at 500-1. The other was 250 at 999-1. Actually, is what it was. So he won $375,000.
So that's the David Freese That's the David Freese World Series. They got down to the last strike against the Texas Rangers, right?
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic.
But he put it in like there was only a certain amount of games left, and the Cardinals had to win like 10 of 11 to get in, and
mathematically eliminated. Almost.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah, some of those things are crazy when you hear about them and the crazy things that happen like that. But Las Vegas is always a lot of fun for, as they call it here, the big game. But Super Bowl 49 in Arizona will be fun. It'll definitely be much more weather conducive than when it was in New Jersey. Oh, excuse me, New York, I think it was, but New Jersey actually, the Meadowlands. A great ball game. Be a great ball game.
Got about 100 people on social media that like our photo of us in the booth here today.
Well, that's very kind. That's very kind of them.
Yeah.
And anybody that's out there on social media, that's listening to us on InsideBowling.tv, if you got a bowling question or you got something we can maybe help with or aim you in a direction for a question or a comment that you have, we'll be more than happy. But right now we're enjoying the bowling here at the Military Bowling Championships as they're most of them are ending Game 3, heading into Game 4 in a lot of cases. And actually,
most of them are in Game 4 now.
We got the first 9 in a row over here on 21 and 22. Just one of the pairs to the right of our kind of snuck up on us as we were. We're going to see if we can get over there to get a shot to bring you the 10th frame. And as we are winding up this squad.
Wes, why don't you slide over and I'll train you on this guy right here.
Uh-oh, I'm going to learn new stuff. So if something goes wrong, it's my fault, not mine.
So the cameras that we're using right now is, I'm going to put them right next to each other, is basically, you back?
Yep.
All right.
Timmy's back in the house to save today, like Mighty Mouse.
Back.
We got front 9 over here.
Talk to me, Goose.
22.
Love it.
Got a 300 game in the pattern.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
But I'll take a look over his shoulder and see what's going on.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, kind of snuck up on us as we were.
Well, that's good.
I'll tell you what's amazing is I got people coming over now letting me know when there's front 9s.
Isn't that like at the USBC tournament whenever the string of strikes turns red and you can get people over to see what's going on?
Mike, you're on right now. We're zooming. We're bringing you in. We're bringing you in the walk-in.
Well, we got a little bit of time here. I mean, we're gonna take a look here real quick.
All right, I'm just wanted to walk you into the.
Well, we're here now.
Walking into the UFC ring.
We are here.
And everybody's kind of wrapping up their last game here. We're other than 17 and 18, and we've got on 21 and 22 Vaughn Duty, who I mentioned to earlier. He is in his 80s. He is a multiple high roller champion. He is a world-class senior bowler. He's using a crux. He's world-class, Mike. He's, yesterday you interviewed Larry Hoffman. Do you remember the interview you had with Larry Hoffman, the lefty from Arizona?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he's from Michigan, but he resides in Arizona now. Larry Hoffman, Vaughn Duty, Phil Pareto, all those guys are a group of guys that have just basically ruled the roost, so to speak, in the senior division in these events.
You can't leave Ed Roberts out in the high roller stuff.
Isn't Ed military? I thought he was military, wasn't he?
He was a retired school teacher in the Boston area.
I still thought he served in the military.
He very possibly did.
I thought he did. And if he did, and he's not here,
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised.
Hey, Timmy, let me get set up here real quick.
Are you ready to go?
You're not on me right now, are you?
I'm getting off you right now. I'm off you right now. Waiting to get on you, though. It's a long line. Let me know, Parts. We're just gonna bring you Vaughn Duty here in the 10th frame, guys, and I mentioned it earlier. World-class senior player, and I'm going to say it because rest his soul, cool as the other side of the pillow is what he is. Stuart Scott. Vaughn Duty is cool as the other side of the pillow, right there. Look at him sitting in the settee. All right, I'm bringing you in, Mike. Throwing it into you. Vaughn Duty with a nice 689 first 3 games, can shoot 989 for his 4-game block here. Oh, he switched balls, so he's not he was in the crux. So he's either in a high road. It's really shiny, whatever it is. But you want to talk about a classic style. Watch this arm swing. One of the best arm swings in the business. Chips to 4.
All right, tripping to 4. Nice shot.
Is it a shiny crux or I can't tell, Mike? But it's he's using a dull crux earlier. As I said, he'll be as relaxed as it gets. If you can take a peek at that ball.
He showed a small amount of motion, but he knows there's more shots. He stayed composed. He's going to be prepared for this next shot. Good shot. Good pre-shot routine.
Yeah, I mean everything's the same.
Solid.
You watch Vaughn Duty, and it's like watching. It's like hitting a Mack book and just hitting enter. Everything's the same. Shot repetition, shot repetition, shot repetition. Short swing, long follow through. Look at that. Long follow through.
Oh, that was a great shot.
Ring 10s.
That was
What a
very
shot.
good shot. He caught it nice and clean.
There was no doubt that was going to be in the pocket.
Looks like a hypercell, guys.
Hypercell, shiny hypercell? Or it's not the hypercell skid, is it?
No.
Yeah. So he went from a crux to a shiny hypercell.
And he's going to shoot over 970 for his 4.
And I believe he's in his 80s. He's a great guy. You got to interview him, Mike. He's a really really fun guy to talk to. So I'm gonna pull off you and let you set up for an interview if you can.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, this block is kind of coming to a conclusion. We'll be back down with Mike in a couple of minutes after he gets set up to talk to Vaughn Duty that we were just discussing. We watched him just shoot 289. We'll be back later this evening at 7 o'clock Pacific time.
We're gonna have a little chat with Mr. Vaughn Duty.
Excuse me, 4 o'clock Pacific time.
And tell him he's my hero. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Flanagan in the settee with Mr. Vaughn Duty.
He says he feels like he's 79 again. Just real casual interview here in the settee. You just got off the lanes. 289, nice bowling.
Yes, I'm happy to do it,
Vaughn, how old are you?
80. I'm 80 years old.
80 years old, still throws the ball absolutely phenomenal. Now, Vaughn, how long have you been coming out here?
Coming out where? I live here.
How long have you been participating in this event?
The high roller, the military, last year was my first year. And I won the singles last year.
Wow, wins it the first year. So let me ask you this. What is it that makes you eligible for bowling in this tournament? What have you done with the armed forces?
I was in the Army 60 years ago. And I spent 2 years in. Most of the time I spent in Germany driving a tank. So you have to be a vet, and I'm a vet.
That's awesome, man. So who do you bowl with here?
All right, I bowl with, the best bowler in the city, Ron Moore, is on my team at the Red Rock. And the others you probably don't know.
Well, here, who do you bowl with here? Were you recruited, or do you bowl with certain guys every year?
They picked me up. We bowled with the same team last year. Bill Nichols put the team together. He's out of Sacramento area, and we got together again this year. I didn't sign up. They just sent me the application, and I had to send the money in.
Okay, man. Well, hey, great bowling today. We're proud of you.
I got off to kind of a slow start. I don't think I missed a spare today, but there was my second and third game was a lot of 9 counts. But 7, 978 is pretty good. It'll
You'll-
give me in the money, and if I was alive in any brackets, I probably won them.
I think you probably did. Hey, man, nice to meet you, and congratulations.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
There you have it, guys.
Vaughn Duty. Gotta
Vaughn
love
Duty.
it. Thanks, Mike. Good to see you, Vaughn. That is a legend of the game right there, Mike. Absolute legend of the game.
And the gentleman, Mr. Nichols, he talked about,
Shot
shot
1,000.
1,008 for his 4-game block.
Bill Nichols, class guy. Met these guys. Came out here at the high roller, worked the senior high roller during Easter, and super senior. Had to be over 60, and got a chance to meet Bill and Jerry, who's on his team. And between the three of them, they shot about an 890, 1,008, and 970. That's impressive. That's impressive.
That's
Good stuff there, Mike.
the way
Great
it's done
interview.
right there.
That's fantastic. So we're wrapping up here. Our live streaming will be done for this squad. Military Classic in August. Will Inside Bowling TV be there? We've just got that question. Rick from Rick AF at South Point. Will we be there? We don't know yet. To be determined. Rick, we're hopeful that we can bring to you this military event and subsequent other events on live streaming.
Yeah, here's how it works, guys, is basically Brad enjoys live streaming and thinks it's important for his events. So we normally get out and do 2 of his events a year, and he's trying to spread the wealth. We did the TAT last year, so this year we did this instead. So all the feedback that comes in for it's really good with Brad, and you know, we might be there if things work out. I have a full-time job and other responsibilities, but whenever we can make it out and make it happen, we certainly will do so. Lanes 19 and 20 is finished up. Lanes 17 and 18 still participating. Looks like it's 2:39, about an hour and 20 minutes. We'll be back with the 4 o'clock squad. We'll hang out here for a few more minutes, and then we'll shut her down and come back and bring you more coverage. We're past the halfway mark, guys.
Just feels like we just got started. So see, since Timmy will be having his last block with us this evening, we'll have to make sure we get some words of wisdom from you to
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some singing.
maybe some
As you know, it's music block. You know
It
that.
is.
music block. Okay.
Music block and movie quote. So
For those who weren't here yesterday, it was pop culture. It was pop culture Monday night.
It was Slap Happy 4 p.m. squad after a full day of travel and a full day of streaming and opening ceremonies.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was a lot of fun, and we're I think I can speak for Mike and Tim. We're very proud and very privileged to
You bet.
to be able to be involved in this and have some fun and meet a lot of good people and help support that passion for bowling and show the support for the military and the veterans and the active duty that are bowling here, and just to have a good time.
Rick, we're not sure who the leader is right this moment. They post at the end of the day. We could probably ask the tournament office, see what we can't find out, and when we come on at 4 o'clock, we'll see what we can do on that. This is about the last pair done.
It will be about the last pair done. The 4 o'clock squad. What will we be viewing? What event is that? Do we know? Is that?
It's more singles.
It's more singles today. More
and then
singles.
tomorrow will be doubles, doubles, doubles.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And I tell you, for some of these guys to shoot the scores they are, they've got to get lined up on that one pair. And I know I kind of keep
yeah.
going back to that. but it isn't as easy as it sounds. I mean, think about your typical league play with all your colleagues, teammates, what have you that you're bowling with,
Sure.
and you can break them down any way you want to, and you still don't get the carry. So these guys are shooting some of these scores are good players, and they're executing shots, and they're getting at, even though it's a house pattern, so to speak, it can still break down a little strange, and the pin carry can be tricky.
Rick from in the chat, he's asking, we know it's another high roller tournament. Thanks for the shout out from Colorado. I don't know who's currently leading right now, but there's been multiple scores, Rick, over 1,000 for 4 scratch alone. So I think it's going to take a telephone number to win because the event is handicapped. We do know that Bill Nichols had 1,008. We do know that Raymond Johnson shot 1,002. So we have seen multiple scores over 1,000. So we're not quite sure who's in the lead right now. But
and handicap. I don't know how that works either.
Exactly.
We'll tell Brad. Rick from Denver said hello. Thanks for chiming in on the stream, and we're going to wrap it up here for this afternoon session.
Yeah, let's bring it into the booth, guys. Been another fun afternoon of bowling. Now we've seen 8 games today, 6 on a pair. Really high scores again. A lot of great people coming through that maybe we didn't get a chance to see yesterday with the lane assignments. And we'll be back at 4 to bring you more.
Had Chris Sand sitting with us, one of our friends.
And if we can really get the Jim Beam girls, I'm asking you to get that done, to have them sit in with us in this next live stream, and we can start some singing. Then we're doing something.
That's a good idea.
So
yeah,
that's
Wes's
that's a tall order there.
Listen,
I've
I've never had Jim Beam in my life, but
you might make an exception.
yeah, get him in the booth. Let's see
of
what
course,
happens.
it'll be water with food coloring, and we won't
Exactly.
actually be drinking
That's right.
what they're serving.
That's right.
Love my team. Love my
That's
team.
right.
Hey, guys, that's going to be it for right now. We'll leave the stream on. We'll be back at 4 p.m. for another 4 games of folks that we saw yesterday that we haven't seen yet today. So for Wes Pye, Tim Mack, I'm Mike Flanagan. We'll be right back at 4 o'clock for more from the military championships here, the 2015 version.